This episode of the Patriots Postgame Show is presented by DraftKings.
This is the Patriots Postgame Show, presented by DraftKings.
Throws it to the end zone for Diggs. Reaches up, touchdown with the catch. Touchdown, Patriots.
Join the conversation by calling into the show at 855-PATS-500 or email us at podcast@patriots.com.
Speeding to the right sideline to the end zone. Touchdown, Patriots. You gotta be kidding me.
Live from our studio inside Gillette Stadium, this is the Patriots Postgame Show, presented by DraftKings.
Welcome into the Patriots Postgame Show, presented by DraftKings. Mike Dussault is writing, but he'll be here in just a second. Paul Perillo is here, and myself, Kwani Lunis. Thank you for tuning in after another Patriots win, 28-23 down in Tampa Bay. Paul, it was a gritty one, as we predicted.
Terrific game. Yeah,
really
terrific
good game.
I thought the Patriots made a number of plays when the game was on the line that they had to make. Defensively, just coming up with timely pressure. Caleb Chason will not, I don't think, get a lot of publicity after this game, but I thought he was in and around a lot of really, really important plays in this game. And just a hard-fought road victory, 7th in a row, 5-0 on the road. This team has really got it going.
They're really getting the ball rolling.
Absolutely.
What was your takeaway from Drake Maye's performance in this one? I know.
Made some big throws, obviously, but just I think he is a guy who looks to me like he's sort of in between on some of these decisions when he needs to make a play, when he should pull the plug on a play. Absolutely enormous end zone interception when they had a chance to, at the very least, kick a field goal to make it an 8-point game, put the game in peril. But, I thought he overcame a tough start in the first quarter and got hot, toward the end of the first quarter into the second. He throws for 270 yards. Not his best game, not his worst game. I have him thoroughly in the middle again, but you see the plays that he can make. The throw to Hollins down the sideline, in the fourth quarter, 3rd and long. I thought he took some hits, showed some toughness. I don't really worry about the quarterback, to be honest with you.
That's fair. And overall, when we look at this game, looking again, we talked about it in the pregame show, but obviously we'll get into the fact that they have a short week ahead of them. But what is something that you would crucially want to improve upon for Thursday?
I don't necessarily. They do a lot of things well. I think defensively, they make life difficult on the opponent on a weekly basis. I think they've played very disciplined and sound football on the defensive side of the ball. It's not lights out defense, but they really make you earn it. There's very little, the first touchdown to Tampa had obviously was guys not on the same page. It looked like some people were in man, some people were in zone. That's a rarity where they sort of blow a coverage or just give up free easy yards. The only thing you could ask is if they could do maybe a little bit more consistently, but I don't think they're capable of being any more consistent than they've been. This is just an extended stretch of really, really good football, well coached, well disciplined, gritty, hard nosed. When plays need to be made, the Patriots make them. And this is going on, 5 of the last 7. This 7-game winning streak, 4 or 5 of them could have gone either way. But for a play here or there makes the difference, and the Patriots are making it every time.
Absolutely. And Mike Dussault is here, fresh off of writing. But what were your takeaways in this one?
No, I like what Paul said. It was, it's kind of happens fast. You got to gather your thoughts and write a little bit and then hop on here. But really, that was kind of what I came to with Paul. It wasn't, a perfect game today. You hate the interception from Maye down on the goal line there. But they're finding ways to overcome those things and to get huge contributions, big play contributions from the 2 rookies on, 3 different plays. That bodes really well for this team. I like what Paul had to say. They're finding ways to win, and that's just, a really great sign. A lot of times when you talk about a new team with a new coach and young players, that it's up and down. They struggle to find what their identity is, and this Patriots team hasn't really seemed to have lost that identity along this win streak. They continue to overcome their mistakes, and defensively they give up some drives here and there, but they got into that position at the end of the game, which I've talked about the last couple of weeks. It's like I don't feel great about them when it's, middle of the field, first, second down, standard. But when you get into clutch time and you get a team into a 3rd and long or a critical 4th down, this defense has been finding ways all season long to make those key plays.
Today I thought was even more impressive because they weren't longs. They were shorts that they were coming up. They must have had 5 stops on 3rd or 4th and 3 or less today. Just their timeliness on defense was really impressive today. Like I said, it wasn't perfect. There was ups and downs along the way, but every time a play had to be made, somebody made a play, and they somehow found a way to get the win.
It goes really to Paul, like what we talked about in the pregame show, which was we were talking about Booty not being here and how the big plays to Booty had offset some of the times when they were stumbling or the offense would go stagnant. And today it was kind of the same thing, different players, but it's obviously a completely different game without, first of all, the huge catch and run by Kyle Williams, and then the big run by Henderson, and of course the one at the end from Henderson was great to seal it. But still, those are the plays that really make up for some of the clunkiness that you had. Because let's face it, this game in the second half looked a lot like last week's did, where they came out. Last week they came out, they scored a field goal, then it was interception, punt, 3 and out. They came out well, and then they didn't play well in the second half. So that's something probably to focus on, because now you're looking at, came out, touchdown on 2 plays, gone, so it's not really a drive even, but, you still score a touchdown, then punt, downs, punt, interception.
If you were going to nitpick this game, and I know, this isn't the time to nitpick because it's a big road win, that would be it. You had several possessions when you could have created a 2-score lead in the second half and just couldn't put the game away.
Yeah, and that's what, I don't like getting ahead of myself with talking about playoffs or, games against good teams. I think this game's going to be a learning experience of, we escaped with one here, but a quarterback like Baker Mayfield, a veteran team like that, get into the playoffs. These are the games that you gotta, when you have the chance to put them away, you have to, because as we saw, it gets right down to the end. It can get pretty hairy.
Absolutely. A lot of tangible takeaways for the Patriots in this one. And by the way, you mentioned Kyle Williams. We'll get a chance to talk to him a little bit later in the show.
Oh, boy.
So stick around for that. But until then, it's time for the good, the bad, and the injured.
Now it's time for the good.
Pretty good. It's pretty good.
The bad.
Hey, what happened?
And the injured.
You all right, Gay?
The good, the bad, and the injured is brought to you by Aaron's. Patriots fans, this month you can celebrate Veterans Day with a new snowboat blower from Aaron's during their Heroes and Holiday Sales event. Now through December 3rd, you can save $100 on select models this winter, actually. Let the king of snow help clear your driveway so you have more time to support your team, the Patriots. Aaron's, the official snowblower of the New England Patriots. Visit www.aarons.com to find your errands. Of course, we always start with the good.
Yeah.
Who makes it to the top of the list for you, too?
I'm going to start with Mac Hollins. Huge play at the end, obviously, which, maybe should have sealed it, but didn't. But I just thought he was excellent again today. 6 catches, 106 yards, a couple key, third down catches in the third quarter there, another big one that he had, and then, of course, the 56-yarder. But needed guys to step up without Booty, and this was kind of the Mac Hollins we saw this summer. I was surprised earlier in the year when it just didn't seem like Drake was really looking his way all that much. Last few weeks, you've seen him start to get back into that. I don't know if it's because Booty's been out or if they're just finding ways to get the ball to Mac Hollins, but I thought he was really good today. He was a key receiver for them, and I wish they could have made that last big play, end the game, and stick the touchdown in there. But still, he's finding ways to contribute, and you got to like the production he's putting forth.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I'm going to start with Kayvon Chason, who I thought was around some really, really important plays today. Early in the game, the Bucs get the ball to start, go right down the field, 7-0. Then they get the ball right back. I think the Patriots might have gotten a 4th down conversion to get the first down, then 3 and out after that. So now the Bucs got the ball again, and there's I think it might have been the second time that they had the ball with a chance to go up 2 scores, and he comes up on first down, sort of sniffs out a play in the a quick little screen and got in the way, and then on third down, forced an incomplete. Then on third down, he comes up with a sack on 3rd and short too. Kind of made a huge play, and then at the end of the game, the fourth down play, he comes steamrolling on a beautiful stunt. They got very aggressive. Hats off to Zach Core. It's 4th and 3. They send Charles. What am I thinking? Woodson.
Charles Woods? Chucky Cheese?
No. Craig. I was calling him Charles Woodson. Craig Woodson. I knew it wasn't. I knew that wasn't his name.
Like
Craig
Woods,
Woodson
Craig Woods.
comes on a blitz. Chasen loops around. He gets right onto Baker Mayfield, rips him down. Mayfield forced to just sort of desperately try to flip the ball away. But I thought those timely plays early in the game when the Patriots were kind of teetering, and then late in the game when the game is on the line, Chasen was really, really immense.
Yeah,
I don't know. I mean, I don't know if he had more for stats, but
His numbers.
I just felt like, I just felt like he was involved in some. Yeah, he only had one tackle, one sack.
Yeah, but he was noticeable.
He blew up a screen. That's really a sack on the fourth down at the end of the game. It should have been. Man, there would have been a lot of crying had they had White been able to get the first down on that. I thought Chasen was one of my goods today.
Yeah, that's a good one.
So I'm going to borrow this from the CBS broadcast. I like the way they kind of grouped it in. The rookies with the explosive touchdown plays. You have Kyle Williams, of course, getting his TD today, as predicted by our caller. And then Travion Henderson with the 55 and 69 yards, 2 rushing touchdowns. But just overall, the rookies being able to step up. Last week we talked about next man up. This week, again, the depth on their receiver chart really showing that they have good running backs and good receivers.
I like how you did it, Kwani, because I don't know if those 3 really did anything other than
exactly. And that's why I group it that way, because just specifically for the way they were able to, come out on top.
And they certainly belong on the good list.
Yeah, for sure.
But I agree.
That was
with a little asterisk.
That was kind of this. But no, that's great sign. And we have a segment coming up. I think there might be something there. But, we've been talking about it all week. We had a caller, which I don't know if you were on Twitter, but we had a caller this week on Patriots Unfiltered that
Francisco
predicted it. He's nailing it
every week.
Francisco knows too much.
And it's not like, and I said this during the week, Mike, it's not like he's predicting Drake Maye is going to throw for 250
It's like so
yards.
specific.
He's not predicting things that are kind of obvious. He's predicting very specific things that are like once in a lifetime kind of deal.
Yeah.
That man needs to play lottery.
was that Williams had 2 catches coming in, right? You're predicting a 50-yard catch for a guy who has less than 5 catches, whatever the amount he had. I think he has 2 catches, but less than 5 catches coming in. It's just unbelievable.
2 catches coming in.
Some of the, and he only had 1 catch in this game, and it goes for a 72-yard touchdown.
Seriously.
So
2 for 20.
Who are you, Francisco?
He's on our good list.
Yeah, absolutely. Francisco's on the good list, too.
Yeah, Francisco, nice job. What do you have for us next week? You better call in Wednesday for Thursday night. I'm going to put on just, how do I phrase this? Just the performance around halftime. What do you call that? The middle.
The double score?
The double score.
Yeah, I had that on my list.
They continue to do it, and that's really impressive to me how they've been able to, because, let's face it, like I said, large portion of the second half, this offense was stagnant. They came out kind of stagnant, but their ability around halftime, I don't know. I feel like I need to do a deep dive into this week and write about it just to get it all in context in my brain, but it feels like every week they score right before the half. The game is going one way, and you're like, man, this is going to be a tough one. And then they score right before halftime. They score right out of halftime, and all of a sudden they've got a lead that they've been able to hang on to. So just the execution around halftime, I thought has
I agree,
been
Mike.
excellent.
I think that was a big part of the game, and it's not the first time, as you mentioned. It's been big. That's been big, and the execution there, I don't particularly like how it came about at the end of the first half, but those double scores have been immense for this team. Tennessee completely ended the Tennessee game. Cleveland. Yeah. Some of those games that you look at the end of the day and they're winning in blowouts, and you're like, that didn't really matter. Well, you're winning in blowouts because you're scoring on consecutive possessions a lot of times. Now, today you played a better team, so it didn't end the game. But you score 14 in a row, and you're going to win. Mm-hmm. You're going to win a lot of games when you get to score 14 in a row like that. And that was ultimately the difference in the game. I absolutely had that on my good list. I had, not necessarily these individuals, but Craig Woodson and Christian Gonzalez on 3rd and 3, I believe it was, late in the game on that last drive. Certainly Tampa looks like they're poised to go down and at least knock on the door. Cade Otton, who was a problem all day, 9 for 82. He's open, and they come in and sandwich him with a great hit First Woodson hits, then Gonzalez hits, knocks the ball free, forces it to be a 4th down. That's another example. That's another example that they're going to be at the 18-yard line with plenty of time, and they're going to do what happened to you at the end of the half. What you did to them at the end of the half was going to happen to you here. They were going to score with very little time left for Drake Maye and company to go down and try to get a field goal. So this play right here is immense. And you see it. They just perfectly timed hits, both with the shoulder, both below the shoulder, not up around the head, nothing cheap. Just really good football plays. Yeah. And sometimes you make a play at a key time like that, and that's enough to get on my. I mean, I'm an easy grader sometimes. Yeah. That's enough to get on my good list.
Yeah, I had
that was a really, really good play by your 2 defensive backs.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You want me to do one?
Yeah, absolutely.
Stephon Diggs. Yeah. Especially early, it's kind of all him. And then to catch the onside kick, which I hope he's all right.
Right.
See if maybe he's able to speak in the locker room. That'd be a great sign. But not nothing crazy. 5 for 46, but had that was his 3rd touchdown of the year. And just to be able to hang on to this play, sacrifice yourself. You're going to take a big hit going up to get the ball. But that sealed it. I mean, I really don't think
the touchdown might have been the biggest play of the game too, Mike, because I just can't even imagine not trying to score and then not scoring.
Yeah.
Like mentally, how that would have, and the difference between that happening. Yeah. The difference between that happening was Stephon Diggs making an absolutely insane catch.
Yeah, look at it.
So I agree with you. Even if
they had that on the bag, Paul. They knew if they burned a play that they could
just that, you belong on the good list just for that. But as you mentioned, a couple other big spots that he had, safety blanket type catches, the onside kick recovery to make sure there was no miracle comeback. Diggs again, just his professionalism continues to shine.
Yeah.
So similar to you, I had Kayvon Chase on my defensive good list as well, but I added Jack Gibbons just mainly. I don't know. I noticed him mostly in the game a lot. Yeah. So I gave him that for my good list as well. 10 tackles total.
So
1 tackle for loss.
This I had written down that pass protection was much better. This kind of deteriorated as the game was going on, and in the 4th quarter he was really taking some shots. But I do think the pass protection overall today was better than it has been.
Yeah.
I think there's some. Diaby gave Will Campbell some trouble in this game, and obviously Vita Vea is a monster. He was giving all kinds of trouble to the interior guys. But overall, I thought Drake Maye, for the better part of the first 3 quarters, had some more time. In the 4th quarter, man, was he taking some shots.
He was. I know. That's what I hated most about the game. It's just the shots that he continued to take. But I didn't really. I kind of struggled, good or bad list for him. I ended up last week.
Drake.
He wasn't on either list last week.
I just there weren't a lot of throws. I mean, he had the 3 huge scores where 2 of them he just had to hand it off.
Right.
He did have the throw to Matt Collins, and again, you have good plays and bad plays, and the interception's an example of the bad Drake that we don't want to see. That we got to clean up those mistakes in big games. But some of the hits that he took, I agree with you, Paul. I also thought that he just showed some better poise, maybe a little hanging in there a little bit more than he had last week. But it felt like they were really doing a good job collapsing the pocket around him, not making it easy for him to escape. But this is how it goes. You got to make some plays. You give him some plays. You got to be able to stay focused, fight through the down moments, and overall, I thought Drake continued to be pretty good. He's not. I don't think anybody's going to watch this game today and say MVP candidate still, but that's fine. He doesn't need to be. He just needs to be a quarterback who can continue to cut down on
his
mistakes.
Numbers today actually are going to seem a lot better than they were. Like the 270.
He hit the,
but you're right.
51.6% completion.
Yeah. Not on the bad list because he made too many big plays.
Yeah.
And I know that the Kyle Williams touchdown was largely a run after the but it was good throw.
Sure. Yeah.
And the throw to Hollins was perfect. Deep ball, staring right down the barrel of the pass rush, as Tony Romo said on the broadcast, and he just drops it right in. He's if there's a better deep ball thrower in the league right now, I haven't seen it.
I know. It's
because every one he gives this guy a chance to make a play.
I just say my only real criticism, other than just some of the mistakes, is just sometimes he feels a little wishy-washy to me. Of like, are you going out of bounds? Are you gonna you know what I mean? Just don't half-ass it. You know what I'm saying? Like he's going out of bounds, and you're like, if you're going out of bounds,
Just
then
do
get
it.
out of bounds
Yeah,
and
that's what
protect
you
yourself.
Like, there was-
Don't kind of like take every last second to observe the field. Like, and I get it that this is a special player who maybe one time he is just 1 foot out of bounds and he chucks a touchdown pass like a laser. But at the same time, it's going to be such a key point.
Yeah, right.
We've got to make sure we protect ourselves on these plays. The last thing this team needs is to lose this kid. And again, it's another week where I don't know what the hit numbers were, but he took a lot of hits inside the pocket, outside the pocket, etc.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's about all I had.
Yeah.
But I would totally co-sign on everything Mike just said about Drake Maye. I mean, not anything that you would put on the bad list, but
No.
some of the decisions. There was a play in the first half even that he looked like he wanted to throw the ball away, and he couldn't decide whether he wanted to throw it away or not, and then he almost threw a pick. And they never really showed the replay to see if the guy was out of bounds when he caught it. But I just, there was just. I would say, like, once you decide what you're doing, do it. And like Mike said, and you could avoid some hits that way. But again, made enough plays to win a game, and they've won 7 in a row. And
Yeah, just it's getting the stats now from Next Gen. I mean, for what it's worth, the pressure rate according to Next Gen, 47.2, which would be the second highest rate this season behind the New Orleans game. So there was some pressure on him today, and by the same token, the Patriots' pressure rate not great today, which didn't feel like it. But again, this feels more on par to me. Like, it wasn't great pressure throughout, but when you had to have it,
you got it.
said they were delivering the pressure.
Absolutely. All right, I guess we move on to the bad.
I was going to just say special teams until they did recover an onside kick, which I think does go a long way for the special teams. But overall, early on,
not a great day.
2 holds early on, not great field position. I mean,
you had a touchback on the first punt, touchback on the first kick. I'm sorry, and then a touchback on the first punt, then a penalty on the second punt, a 38-yard punt. Marcus Jones muffs a punt.
Yep.
And you mentioned the penalties. I think there were 2 different penalties on returns, punt returns. So, special teams was a little sloppy. As you said, though, when they had to have a play, it was not an easy recovery of the onside kick either. That was a good play.
Stephon Diggs had
big play by Diggs.
Concussed for it. Hopefully he's all right. But, I'd love to get some more contributions from special teams, even if it's just field position right now. It doesn't feel like parts of it are pretty good. I mean, Borregales has been consistent, and they didn't really need him today. But at the same time, it's I think this is a team that needs everybody kind of pulling in the right direction, especially if they're going to make some noise down the stretch. So just want to see the special teams be a little bit more buttoned up before that onside kick.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I thought there was some coverage issues in this game in general, but the touchdown, it looked to me like Gonzalez may have been in man and Marcus Jones thought they were zone. I don't know what they were supposed to be. It looked like a lot of people were in zone, so I think maybe Gonzalez was at fault on that particular play. Maybe. But you can't leave the other team's best receiver uncovered. And he was open all day. I know, like, the numbers are going to, 6 catches on 13 targets. Well, they did a good job on a book. I don't think they did. He had a couple of drops. He had a couple that Mayfield missed him on a little bit. I thought the coverage was a little inconsistent today. It wasn't bad. There were times where I thought they made some tight windows for Mayfield, but I didn't love this game for the coverage.
Yeah, the coverage number is pretty interesting, Paul. They have Gonzalez targeted 15 times with 7 receptions for 89 yards, which is by far the highest total. I mean, the 15 targets.
So that's really up and down, though. 7 catches, 89 yards. That's it. Well, that's not a good day, but they needed 15 targets for it. So that's 8 times that he. I would just argue that out of 5, maybe 4 or 5 of those 8 was 2 flat drops for Ibuka, 2 flat misses for Mayfield. One of which came on a key third down that he ran like one of those little in and out moves, those little scissor routes, and he was open. And Tony Romo said if he uncovers right away, this is an easy completion. And then they show the replay, and he uncovered right away, and Mayfield just threw the ball wide. So, like I said, I wouldn't put Gonzalez on the bad list. I would put coverage in general inconsistent today. A little less consistent than I would like to see.
Yeah, a lot of things on my bad list, you look at how Tampa performed, and it kind of cancels it out, essentially, to your point. So that's,
it's, No, I think Paul's right about the coverage too.
And Gonzalez also had a big PI, that jump-started a scoring drive for them in the third quarter.
You know, it feels like at times they're holding on, but they seem to make the plays when they have to, but sometimes it doesn't always look pretty on the way. What was this one I have here? Just tight end coverage, and that probably feeds into what Paul said, but just, this just continues to be an area of difficulty for this defense, and it's existed back to the summer. I don't think Cade Auden was necessarily a dynamic receiver. I mean, solid player, big guy, no question, but not one of the guys you think of when you think of the best tight end players in the league. So again, they gave up a bunch of yards to him. They got to figure out a way.
9 for 82 for him, and again,
big drop though. Again, like it sums it all up, right?
There's two plays, so he had 9 for 82. Yeah. One is the big play that they knocked away. That's 10 for 92, 97,
and the
then
penalty,
the pick on the fourth down, which was absolutely a pick.
Yeah.
I don't want to go back to last week. Sometimes they call them and sometimes they don't. But that was absolutely the right call. Because he knocked into Mapu, and I think that prevents him from running. But does anybody think Mapu's going to prevent that completion?
That's not his thing.
And like I said last week, that's not part of the equation, whether or not you think the guy's going to be in position to make the play. You need to call it when you see the contact. The contact was there. The referee called it.
That's kind of all I've written down for bads. I mean, I don't know.
So I'm gonna have one that you're gonna laugh your butt off. The running game.
Oh, good one.
Okay,
that's good.
Yeah.
What were the numbers, Paul?
This is hard. Okay.
Let's see. Let's hear it.
Just take out the two big runs.
Bear with me. Patriots ran for 27 for 166. That's 6.1 a carry today.
Dominant.
Listen, the explosiveness of Trevion Henderson was obvious for all to see. That's why he was on our good list. Yep. Kwani, you had the two rookies with the 3 explosive plays, and that absolutely is a big part of this game, and they're on the good list. Yep. But 7 carries for 13 yards on scrambles for Drake Maye. Didn't get anything. 4 carries for 5 yards for Terrell Jennings. Short yardage, couldn't move at all. Could not move at all. I know it's a lot of yards, right? That's what, 70 and 50 is 125, 124, 2 carries for 124 yards. He ended up with 12 carries for 147 yards in the game. So,
no,
that's not good enough production running the ball. Now, you made the big plays, and I think Mike was talking about this a lot. So it's not necessarily something I would say that was horrible.
Yeah.
Mike has been talking about this all year. We feel like we're close to some explosive plays in the run game, and those skew the numbers. Well, you saw today how they skew the numbers. You make 2 runs of 69 and 55 yards, and you end up with 166 yards rushing.
Right.
It doesn't take a mathematician to figure out you had 25 carries for like 30 yards. Otherwise, it's not good.
It stuck out to me, especially toward the end of the game, the second half. Some of the play calling, I just didn't, it just felt like, man, these long developing tosses to Henderson. I mean, it looks great when he's able to get the edge, but a couple of those, they just look like they had no chance. I don't know if Tampa adjusted and got a beat on him, but, plays like this where it's just a jailbreak and he's getting hit 2 yards in the backfield, they don't really even seem to have a chance. The one he broke at the end felt like it was kind of headed in that direction, and he just kind of stayed on his balance and then broke free and accelerated. But, it's just, look, he got hurt briefly. It looked for a moment like you were all of a sudden going to be Dearness Johnson, who signed here 2 weeks ago, who's going to be your only back. They either got to get healthy with Ramondre, or they got to figure out a way to
2 cracks from the 1 yard line, and you really didn't come close to getting in. That almost backfired. With Mike deciding to sort of kneel on the ball on first down to take time off the clock. Fortunately, Diggs bailed them out on 4th down.
Yeah.
You sounds like you answered the question I was going to ask. It's not like with this depth in the running game, Ramondre is the only hope in your point?
Well, I mean, I don't think you're going to find another lead back out there. I mean, it's just Ramondre with his pass blocking, his ability to catch the ball, do it all. I mean, he's an answer if they can get him back. Oh,
all right, right on
and
cue.
there he is.
Kyle Williams is here.
Hey, what's up?
Congratulations.
I appreciate you.
Congratulations, Kyle. Was there any chance you were getting caught on that one?
No.
Really not.
Once that ball hit my hand, I was like, there's only one place to go.
Big day for rookies when it comes to scoring. What did you see on that drive, your 72-yard TD?
Nothing but green grass. I mean, we had the look we wanted, and we took advantage of it.
Absolutely.
So, Kyle, it's been a little bit of a slow start for you, but it's obvious every week that you have the full confidence of your teammates, and you could see just the reaction when you were able to make that play. You were close, and we watch every week, and we see you running routes and getting open at times, and it just hasn't clicked. How tough is that to stay with it, knowing that you're doing what you're supposed to do and you're waiting for your turn, and then all of a sudden you get rewarded today with this big play?
I mean, at times it could be frustrating, but when you have a team and a receiver room like what we got here, I mean, it just makes that it just makes it a lot calming. You know what I'm saying? Just knowing that they still trust you and that they're not giving up on you, and that allows you to put a lot of more belief in yourself to be able to just, you know what, even if I'm not getting my opportunities, you know what I'm saying, I can still come out here and contribute in whatever way. And at the end of the day, you got to control what you can control.
Can you talk a little more about just the support you've had from that room, Kyle? All year long, we've been hearing, Diggs and Mac talk about you're going to get your chance. Like, it felt like they were cheering for you. How supportive have those leaders and the other guys in the wide receiver room been for you?
I mean, they're supportive as it gets. I mean, I don't even think I can really explain it, but those dudes are like big brothers to me. They mentor me. The whole group, they mentor us young guys. We come in every day. They keep pressing the standard, setting an example. Just at the end of the day, Steph and Mac, they always just inspiring you, putting belief in you, if you don't got confidence in yourself, they're going to put confidence in you. And I think that's great as a vet and from a vet to a young guy.
So, Kyle, I got to let you know, we have, we do shows during the week here at Patriots.com. We have a caller who calls in every week with something that he predicts is going to happen in the game. A couple of weeks ago, he said something. Last week, he said Parker Romo is going to miss an extra point. That's going to be a big point in the game. This week, he said Kyle Williams is going to catch a 50-plus yard touchdown pass. So
he put the 50-plus on it?
Right.
No, not only just you were going to catch a touchdown, it was going to be from 50-plus. Yeah. So I want to know if you have something going on with some of our fans.
You know Francisco?
No, I don't know him. I don't know him from a can of paint, but I need to get in touch with this guy.
Seriously.
I don't know him from a can of paint.
Oh, Kyle, thank you so much for your time. Congratulations on the win.
I appreciate you guys. Thank you.
Safe travels, Kyle.
Thanks,
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Confirmed he does not know
that phrase.
That was good.
From a can of paint.
That was really good.
Well, I should point out too. We heard this year that a lot of people in the building got to meet with various rookies when they came through, and somebody said to me, like, everyone just loved Kyle Williams. Like, his personality just won everybody over. You can see it in the locker room. He's always got a smile on his face. Last week during Halloween, he had one of those costumes where I think, you put it on and it looks like you're carrying somebody, smaller than you and it's your head. And he just gave it to one of the reporters. He's like, you need a costume? Go, here you go.
You have a costume for tonight?
That's
here you
real.
go. And he gave it to one of the writers.
He just gave it out. But, I asked him that question because you could just tell that this little group, they all kind of sit together.
Yeah.
And for a group that just didn't really have much energy or good vibes or, wasn't able to ever find any momentum last year, the wide receiver room. This year, credit Diggs, credit Matt Collins, the older guys that have come in and really just, established great leadership. I mean, the answer that Kyle gave, I thought was, pretty impressive. It's kind of a throwaway, like, oh, they've been great, but it really shows how much those guys have meant to the younger guys in that room. And, to Paul's point, you got to stay patient. You got to wait for your chance. And here we are, second half of the season. He starts it off with a bang and a huge play. So, and he's probably going to get another chance in 4 days here against the Jets.
Yeah,
on Thursday
I can't imagine they would rush Booty back 4 days later. But yeah, you could see it. You could see the way that they've talked about Williams. In these days when we get a chance to talk to some of the receivers, when we get a chance to talk to Todd Downing. There are plays there, and you can see that it's close. And now I think maybe this is the start of some consistent contributions. I'm not. Again, I think I said in the pregame show, I'm not expecting 8 for 150.
Yeah.
But I think one for 75.
Yeah, I mean, it's one play here. It's amazing, like how different. Like, let's say that the guy for Tampa doesn't undercut the route and just gives up the catch. It's one catch for 12 yards. How much differently you look at it. But the guy undercuts it, misses it. He turns it up, and as Kyle said, I had nothing but green grass.
Well, and that, and to the point I made in the pregame show about Bourne of just seeing some run after the catch ability, seeing a little burst with him, a special play. But I'd like to see more of that speed, and his ability just to make things happen, even though they're not. Drake is great at throwing the ball down the field and making those big plays, but I think if you can make some easier throws that they take to the house, make things a little easier on Drake.
100%. All right, we I think we got through most of the bad.
I think
Should
so.
we go to the
Anything else,
injured?
Paul?
Anything else?
You want to talk about them taking a knee on first down there?
No.
Don't do that to him. Don't set our guy up.
But a laundry list of injuries,
Yeah.
and I guess we'll have to wait and see how it all
What was serious?
how it all plays out. I mean, I do think Terrell
Everyone-
Jennings did not return, correct?
Terrell Jennings did not return.
return.
I believe all of the
Marcus Jones
Marcus Jones
returned.
went
Marcus
back.
Jones returned.
Barmore
Trevion
returned,
Henderson obviously returned.
and then was announced as questionable.
And Mapu returned.
Mapu
And
returned.
Jalen Hawkins, that was just dirt in his eyes, or was it?
I don't know,
looked
but
like he
I
was
know.
washed.
I
think
gotta
he
go
was
back
back
and look
out
on that
there. So
yeah.
Barmore is the one that would be a little bit. I would be a little bit wondering about because he came back in the game for sure.
Yeah.
And then later he was announced as questionable, so I couldn't tell. I know they were rotating a lot of guys up front, Mike. Late in that game, I think it was really humid down there. I think they were really
We have
working
video
hard
of him
at.
now, yeah.
They were working really hard at, trying to keep guys as fresh as they could. So just stuff to keep an eye on again with another game coming up on Thursday, 3 games in 12 days.
Yeah, there might be some.
Takes
there might
a
be some-
physical toll.
Physical
some tough things.
temperature control is raining there. It's hot. Going back and forth.
Way too
between
much
the
of Mike
climates.
Vrabel kneeling next to injured players,
Yeah, and holding hands. Don't need to see any
Like,
more of that.
that always
I mean,
feels
I
like
that he's
serious.
Exactly. Like, look,
Yeah.
you see it right here on your screen. He's holding his hand. Thankfully, hopefully, it's not.
Turn away from the
serious.
light. Well, hopefully
Oh my
Barmore's all right. I mean, he's a key
scream
piece,
you
but this is just it's a game of attrition in the NFL, and the Patriots have been incredibly lucky with injuries and facing a short week. You hope that none of these things are too severe. Sometimes guys get back out there, they play, and then tomorrow it really hits them. So with the short week, I think all of these players, even though some of them were returning to the game, we have to probably keep an eye on all of them.
For sure. So we're getting a lot of your calls already. Let's head out to Christian in LA. How you been, Christian?
Hey, I've been better. My blood pressure was up and down.
Oh no, yeah, I feel that too. Actually, yeah. I'm glad it's evened out. Hopefully.
Well, I got to say that I do love Drake Maye's footwork in the pocket. Some of the things that he's been doing, just magnificent. His poise and presence in the pocket. His decision making is a little up and down, but he'll get better. But I'm actually pretty angry at Josh McDaniels' play calling in the second half of the last 2 games, and it's getting to the point where we're surviving games because he just is not able to make it click in the second half. I don't know what he was doing with the runs at the times he was doing it. And if Drake Maye's taking a bunch of hits, it's because Josh is calling plays that give him downfield options. We know Drake likes to hold the ball and look down there. You've got to take those options away from him in the second half when we're leading, and we just need to matriculate the ball down the field. Stop running into a brick wall of B of A. I'm just really pissed at his play calling. What do you guys think about that? I'll take it off the air.
Thanks, Christian.
Go Pat.
I don't know.
Yeah, go Pats.
They threw it 32 times and ran it 20. I didn't think they ran into a brick wall a lot.
No, I mean,
they did run into a brick wall. I don't think that they tried to just pound it over and over and over again. I thought they tried to run and couldn't.
Yeah.
For the most part.
No, I get what he's saying. Like, it's just when the run's not going and it's second down and 10 and you see another tosser left. But I don't agree with what you're saying.
Do you know what the difference today if the lack of matriculating the ball down the field was?
Yeah.
For the first time, really since week 1, Drake Maye was average, with his accuracy. He's 16 for 31 today.
Yeah.
It's hard to matriculate the ball down the field on 3rd and 7 when you miss the guy.
Yeah.
Now, downfield, he's perfect to Matt Collins, on the deep ball in the fourth quarter. But that, to me, was why you had a hard time stringing plays together today, is because your quarterback was a little, early in the game, he was all over the place. And they were they made a big deal out of the rain, which I don't think really had anything to do with it, but he was a little high.
And like the way he was holding the ball.
Didn't you think he was sailing a little bit early in the game?
100%.
That's why you couldn't matriculate the ball down the field.
Yeah. And the other thing I'll say is just like
Trevion
he's down
Henderson.
to Trevion Henderson
So
and a practice
Trevion
squad
Henderson
guy.
had 14 carries in this game, right? 3 of them resulted in excellent runs. He had a 16-yard run on 3rd and 10 and the 2 long touchdowns.
Yep.
Okay, so let's just say for argument's sake, and this isn't true, but for argument's sake, the other 11 were all running into a brick wall. They weren't, because as you said, Mike, they had plenty that went wide and lost yards.
Yep.
But is that too many times, 11 carries in the middle? Like, is that running?
Try it.
You can't just throw the ball every single play.
Yeah, and honestly, it seemed like right out of the gate that they kind of wanted to try to run Terrell Jennings more into the middle of the field. Looked like it was, to me, setting up for maybe a game of more of him and giving him, not just Travion and then break glass in emergency with Jennings.
Right, then you lose him.
And now, So, I mean, I think that's something you have to acknowledge, too, when you're going to criticize the play calling. It's like there's not a deep bench. There's not a lot of places to go. And, Travion Henderson run out the middle is not his greatest thing. I mean, granted, I think one of the touchdowns
and Christian,
was
if you're still listening, I know you hung up, but I don't necessarily think, I'm not trying to sit here and tell you that I thought Josh McDaniels, man, he was on it today. He was dialing it up. He wasn't, and I think that's because you played a team that's a little bit better than the teams that you've been playing. They didn't. I mean, again, you're going to look at numbers. They had 435 yards today. I don't think this was, to me, not anywhere close to as effective an offensive game as what they've played over the last, say, 6 weeks. They made 4 really big plays in this game. The 72-yard touchdown to Kyle Williams, the 2 long runs for Travion Henderson, and the bomb to Matt Collins for 54 yards. Those 4 plays were the bulk of your 400 yards of offense. But you know what? Those all count.
Yeah.
And again, it's not like one play. It's 4 big plays. That was enough today to win a game. But if you were going to be forced to sort of inch your way down the field, Tampa was going to make that awfully hard on you. And I think you were really only able to do that once.
Yeah.
That last drive of the first half was kind of that. A lot of short throws. That was the time in the game where I thought Maye got a little hot. That was a, 14-play, 78-yard drive, the last 7:16 of the first half. That was a lot of short throws. That was the matriculating ball down the field drive. That's the only time Tampa allowed you to do that today. How many of those throws today where it looked like Maye was stepping, throwing, and then someone would dive and knock the ball away in front of Hunter Henry? That's sometimes the other team's pretty good.
Yeah.
And, Tampa's as good as you are. That's the difference today. And why that game went down to the wire like that is because the other team was as good as you were. And not like Atlanta and Carolina and Cleveland and Tennessee, teams that can't get out of their own way.
And these are the
By
tests
the way,
that
the
they
Panthers lost to the Saints today.
Oh, yeah.
Your Panthers side.
Yeah. Your Panthers.
Paul, everybody has a bad week. Hey, any given Sunday, Paul. On Mayfield, though, I notoriously trashed him when we saw him in 2021 or here for Cleveland. And, even when we saw him then again in, 23 with the Panthers.
And that's one in front of Diggs, too. There's McCallum.
Yeah. And I think, Mayfield's a good player, but I still think he's a little bit sporadic at times. And there's just, there are some, we saw some drops, we saw some misses from him as well. But I was, I
didn't think he navigated the pocket overly well today either.
No.
But, he wasn't bad. I don't think he played a bad game. I mean, 28 for 43, 273, and 3 touchdowns. I mean, wasn't a bad game.
But
it's just a little inconsistent.
Can we just talk a sec, though? I mean, again, it's just uncanny. 6 plays, 65 yards, right out of the gate again. I mean, that should have been on the bad list.
And then for the next, the next 2 quarters,
punt.
And again, it's like 3rd and 3, 3rd and 2. Like those are hard plays in the NFL because you got to cover so much field.
Yep.
And it's so easy to just throw a quick hitter and get the first down.
Yeah, you had it exactly right, Paul. I mean, it was a third. I mean, on the ensuing 3 punts after that touchdown drive, it was a 3rd and 7, but then a 3rd and 3, a 3rd and 2. Good job. I mean, even 3rd and 11, they got off for the field goal, but. Yeah, it's I don't get it. It's uncanny. Like I don't even really stress about it anymore when the other team comes out and just goes right down the field. I'm like, all right, I think I've seen this before.
Yeah.
I can't believe mentally how much I've done a complete 180 from the last couple of years where had the Patriots thrown that pick in the end zone last year and failed to go up by 2 scores at the end of the game, I would have said that's game. They lose.
Yeah, not now.
I didn't think that. And I'm not telling you I thought the game was over, that they had nothing to worry about, but I just felt like the Patriots defense would find a way to come up with a stop.
Yeah.
Because that's what's been happening.
It is.
Again, I go off of what I see, not what I think. Like Miami had that situation earlier in the year. Down 6, driving right down the field. Patriots come up with a stop when they needed it. Same thing happened today. Same thing happened against Atlanta last week.
Yeah.
They're building trust with the viewers.
Well, when we talk about identity, it's like this team definitely has an identity.
Yeah.
It's, and it's for better or worse. Like the good things, the bad things. There are things that happen consistently, but, to Paul's point, now that you've watched whatever it is, 10 games of this team, you don't get as rattled, or just the bomb to
Like,
Max.
it's not stressful,
Third
but
and 14.
Yeah.
Third and
While
14.
getting killed.
That game is over the last 2 years. A third and 14 at the end of the game. They are punting it back to the other team, and they're going right down the field to score. But to see Drake's ability, I mean, we've seen it a handful of times this year where it's like, I got to have it play. And it's not just getting the first down, it's going for a knockout blow down the field. And I love that aggressiveness. I mean, I'm sure there'll be plenty of conversation about the levels of aggressiveness that Mike Vrabel and this team show, and, knowing when to go gas and when to go brakes, because sometimes I think you're a little uncertain. Sometimes there's a fourth down and you're like, are they, I don't know if they're going to go, are they going to go for it? So that might be a thing that you have to kind of figure out exactly, but they're a tough team. They're a tough team, and I would not rule them out, no matter what the situation is, whether it comes down to needing a final score or needing a final stop. They're the kind of team that is showing over the course of the season they can do both.
Well, we have summoned Francisco in North Carolina.
Oh, here he comes. Let's go.
The man of the hour.
Francisco!
Thank you.
We're here to give you your flowers, as the kids like to say.
Matt's got to send you a T-shirt, I think, at least one.
Yes.
Send him two.
Francisco, refresh my memory. What was the first one that you had? I know last week it was Parker Romo's going to miss an extra point. What was the one before that you nailed?
It was Travion Henderson to outperform Quinshon Judkins.
Oh yeah, okay, that one. That one was less. That one was less impressive.
We won't talk about that one.
So what's your secret, Francisco?
Honestly, I don't know.
He's on a heater, though.
It's like a post-game interview.
I would get to DraftKings. You're on a heater.
I know.
We're not allowed to do such things.
No, of course.
But you should.
Hey, I need to. My brother, he told me today. I came back. He said the only thing that messed me up was the Browns game. He had everything correct. I said next time I'll conjure something and I'll let you know.
You're onto something.
That's awesome. Well, I don't know if you caught it, Francisco, but we just talked to Kyle Williams on the show here. We shouted you out, so we'll talk to him this week.
Yeah.
He said he does not know you, so just to clarify.
From a can of paint.
He said didn't know you from a can of paint.
Hey, well, hopefully he gets to know me.
Right.
Well, you keep making the predictions. I'm sure he will.
Oh, yeah, no problem. But, I heard y'all talking. I had to call in.
Thank you. Thanks for calling in.
Well, I mean, those are, like I said to you during the week, it's not like you're predicting like a 1-yard touchdown plunge for Terrell Jennings. Like, you're predicting things that are way, way out of the norm. And that's 2 in a row that were, the first one was kind of falls into that category of kind of whatever.
Right.
But a specific guy is going to miss an extra point, and a specific guy is going to have a 50-plus yard touchdown catch. Those are not run-of-the-mill predictions. Hats off to you, my friend.
Play the lottery tonight.
Yeah, play that Mega Millions, bro.
Every time I wear that T-shirt, I'm gonna feel special. But stay tuned. Wednesday, I'll get you with something new.
There we go. Thank you.
Make sure you get it first before you.
Yeah, I know.
You never know.
All right, Chris is in Tampa. Hi, Chris.
Chris, were you at the game?
Are you sleeping after the game?
Chris,
Are you tired of the game? Yes. Okay.
I'd like to know what the atmosphere was like.
There was
Tampa,
definitely a good amount of Patriots fans. You could hear on like failed third downs for Tampa. You could hear a roar.
Patriots game,
I mean, not quite like when Tampa was doing stuff, but you could hear it.
Yeah.
Absolutely, you could hear it.
Good amount. Sean in Vancouver. Are you awake?
Sean.
Well, I was at the game, so Mike, I have the answer for you. The atmosphere was incredible. It was so amazing to see so many Patriots fans. I actually came late back from the halftime, and I heard this crowd roar, and I figured Patriots must have turned the ball over. I look up, and it's 21 points. Like, wow, they scored a touchdown. These fans are just going crazy.
Sean, it sounded like you were yelling at the game too, huh?
Oh, well, yeah, we were yelling. Yeah, we were yelling.
Get some tea.
And son.
Having the time of his life.
There you go. It was, and the Patriots are 8-2. And
here he is, having the time of his life.
The last 2 seasons. And they're first. This is the other thing that's even crazier. They're alone in first place because the Dolphins beat the Bills. This is a great day in Florida.
Mm-hmm.
Correct.
So
what a day in football.
Gotta celebrate. Yeah.
Oh,
just take it in and enjoy.
All right, Sean.
Thanks, Sean. Go get some tea.
Stay safe.
And some honey.
Yeah, I'm just walking back to my hotel.
Oh, yeah, stay safe.
Stay safe,
Tampa.
Sean.
No, I just meant like he looks
Pedialyte.
Sounds like he might have had
a little something.
I hope so.
Celebration.
This is the greatest thing. It's worth the history of my life.
Week 10.
Week 2.
We got no. It's interesting. I was taking a glance at some of these other scores, Paul. Looks like Houston pulled one out late, and the Bears pulled it out a little bit.
It doesn't make sense.
So,
it was opposite day here.
Yeah, Jacksonville had another late game collapse. That was like 29-13 or something like that, and they ended up taking a 30-29 lead and winning. And I think they got a defensive score as time expired.
The Jets coming in here, rolling off of their second win of the season.
Don't let the Jets get hot.
Don't not.
Breece Hall, 21 for 83, and Justin Fields, 6 of 11 for 54 yards, touchdown and interception. So should be an interesting one.
Doesn't sound like a good fantasy quarterback, does it?
Not at all.
No, hey, they rallied though around the guys that are still there, and but big opportunity for the Patriots this Thursday night to get that ninth win.
Some more, yeah.
Lock up a winning season. But I think this team should continue to just try to fix the mistakes, try to fix the little things. As good as this game win was, I think there's still, you're starting to see some clunkiness. And I think some of that's due to some of the injuries, especially with Ramondre. It'd be great to see him back. I don't think we'll see him back Thursday night. That's probably asking a lot. But, kind of like we were just talking about, they seem like a team who kind of understands how to win a little bit. And that can change quickly. I mean, it only takes a couple plays, but making the plays when they have to, it's pretty impressive.
Yeah, we don't want to belabor the bads every week, but it's to your point. You want a championship contending team, you want to build upon.
Yeah, and that's just what I hope people understand. We had to kind of disclaim when we were kind of picking Drake's game apart this week, and but that's look, it's no longer about hey, you won your 4th game of the year, and isn't this amazing? It's look at this team. We want them to make noise in the playoffs, not just be a playoff team. And so you start to raise the bar a little bit and hold to a higher standard. And, I just think cleaning up some of the hits on Drake, whether that's, on him, I don't really blame too much on the offensive line, but that's the only thing that really truly scares me is getting him hurt or banged up in a way that, is going to completely change the course of the season. But, even if this is exactly the team that goes into the playoffs, they're going to be fun to watch. They're going to make some noise. I don't want to say they're the team nobody wants to play, but it's just they're a team that is going to be a pain in the butt, especially with a quarterback like that who can throw the ball down the field, and a defense that tends to make plays when they have to.
Find a way. Let's head to Savannah. Jason, how's Savannah?
Hey everybody.
Hello.
Hey Jason.
I got a couple of questions for you, and I want your opinions on them.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, first of all, who else here thinks Francisco's time traveler?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Because those are
he knows too much.
Absurd predictions.
We'll keep him on our good side.
The more serious question, when we have quarterbacks like Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes, and Drake Maye in this case, who all are like MVP candidates people talking about, I've seen a lot of haters in the YouTube comments about Drake Maye can't be a MVP if he's playing like this. And granted, Atlanta and this game wasn't his best games, but I want your guys' opinion. Do you think he's still relatively, top 2 or 3 in the running on MVP conversations? And I'll take it off air. I appreciate it.
Yeah, I think he's in the. I mean, let's just call it top 5 for a round number.
Yeah,
he's in the mix.
Yeah.
I mean, to me, I don't. If you guys feel differently,
I agree. I mean, honestly, 2 or 3 sounded a wee bit high to me at this particular moment. But everybody's got ebbs and flows in their seasons.
Right.
And to judge him right
Josh
now,
Allen just went down to Miami and they lost, and that's one of the guys you would have put based on the way he was playing, put at the higher end of the list.
Yeah.
I mean, I watched Jonathan Taylor go and rush for well over 200 today and put a team on his back a little bit in overtime. And, I does a running back really? I don't know. He's going to end up with a lot of touchdowns. Like for a running back to win it, it's like Sean Alexander, LaDainian Tomlinson. It's like an absurd amount of touchdowns. But he's going to end up with an absurd amount of touchdowns.
Yeah.
Like mid-20s.
Yeah.
Kind of absurd.
It is slightly getting ahead of ourselves, but what more do you want to see from Drake to differentiate himself from the rest?
Just a little bit more 60-minute consistency and a cut back on the critical turnovers. Just and look, turnovers are going to happen. It's just sometimes I think with Drake when they're happening is like you didn't need to force that. You just take the 3 points right here. Those are the moments.
It's hard to imagine what he was thinking on that pick in the end zone today. And I thought there were a couple of times, like I said, Okay, just throw it away. Just throw it away. Okay, good job. Just geez, Drake, that's not throwing it away.
Yeah.
So yeah, just a little more consistency. But I mean, it's the tools are immense. You can see the skill set.
Yeah,
on a week-to-week basis.
Just to echo the point, I did feel like he got back to some of the good pocket stuff that I liked. It felt a little bit like he's not dropping his head, looking at the rush. He's staying in there, and But look, again, like this is not even his first full year. I mean, it's like he's a young kid. There's going to be ups and downs, and it's like I said, it's hard to take a snapshot right now when you feel like he's been fine the last 2 games. I wouldn't even say he played bad, but he's been fine. But I wouldn't say last 2 games he's been an MVP candidate in those games. But he could bounce back Thursday night against the Jets and tear them apart and be right back.
And it's funny because I don't think that this was a bad game for him. I don't think it was a great game for him. Yeah. But like if he rolls out on that 3rd down and throws a touchdown instead of a pick, that's a much better game.
Yeah, right.
That's a huge mistake. That's probably the biggest
a nail in the coffin.
The biggest black mark on his performance today was that pick. He had a chance to make a 2-score game, or at the very least make it an 8-point game, so you can't lose in regulation, and you can't throw that pick. And I mean, these are the kinds of situations though that you got to go through, and in order to improve your decision making, you need to be in those situations where it's trial and error. And I think he's still learning. Mike, I still think he sort of underestimates the speed of the guys chasing him at times.
Yeah. No, it feels like it. He just seems like he's cocky. He's like I'm faster than everybody. But it's I guess what it was just that one turnover is the only turnover in the game was that interception. So it's 2 weeks in a row they've lost the turnover battle. They haven't forced the takeaway in the last 2 games, but they still won those 2 games. So I think that speaks a little bit to
tough.
They're overcoming. There's plenty of stats out there when they lose the turnover battle and they're 0-7. All those kind of things. So they're still finding ways to win, and you want them to win the turnover battle, and to be able to come out of the gate on defense and play well right out of the gate and force a punt. And so there's little details that we're pointing out with this team, but the fact of the matter is they've won 7 games in a row.
I am astounded with how mentally tough they are, and that was always to me the most impressive element, especially the first iteration of the dynasty.
Yeah.
Was just how tough they were, and they were almost never going to beat themselves, and this team does not beat itself.
Yeah.
They are tough when they need to be tough, and they make plays. And that's a good sign going forward for, with so many guys, so many young guys playing key roles right now, they're only going to get better.
Yeah.
Well, we're going to talk after the break about what they can build upon with Mike Dussault. And, of course, we're going to head to the locker room, get some post-game sound as well. So stick around here on the Patriots Postgame Show presented by DraftKings.
This Patriots Postgame Show is brought to you by Massachusetts 250 campaign, commemorating a history of possibility. Plan your revolutionary weekend at massachusetts250.org. And by Brunt Workwear. They make work boots and apparel that are built for the job site. Their gear is comfortable, durable, and named after the real workers in the trades that help design it. Save $10 on your first order at bruntworkwear.com/Pats or with coupon code PATS.
The future with AI will twist and turn. Cisco is the critical infrastructure for the AI era, clearing your path to wide open possibility. Cisco.
It ain't my dad's razor, Dad.
Hey, watch it.
It's from Gillette Labs. This green bar releases trapped hairs from my face.
Game changer.
While the Flex, this contours to it. So the 5 blades can get virtually every hair in one stroke for the ultimate Gillette shaving experience.
The best a man can get
is Gillette Labs.
Let there be ideas too big to stay ideas, and the software to make them soar. Let there be anything. Autodesk.
The future with AI will twist and turn. Cisco is the critical infrastructure for the AI era, clearing your path to wide open possibility. Cisco.
It ain't my dad's razor, Dad.
Hey, watch it.
It's from Gillette Labs. This green bar releases trapped hairs from my face.
Game changer.
While the Flex, this contours to it, so the 5 blades can get virtually every hair in one stroke. For the ultimate Gillette shaving experience,
The best a man can get
is Gillette Labs.
Let there be ideas too big to stay ideas, and the software to make them soar. Let there be anything. Autodesk.
We want to hear from you. So call the hotline at 855-PATS-500 or email the show at podcast@patriots.com. Now, back to the Patriots Postgame Show presented by DraftKings.
Welcome back into the Patriots Postgame Show. Mike Dussault, what shall we build upon?
I know, it's time for the Autodesk Building a Legacy segment, presented by Autodesk, the official design and make platform for the New England Patriots. Autodesk Construction Cloud is a platform trusted by contractors, owners, and our New England Patriots to design and build the next legacy. And guys, I think what better way to build the next legacy than to get key contributions, explosive plays from 2 rookies today. So that is my thing to build off of. Kyle Williams, a big score. Travion Henderson with 2 big scores. You know, it makes you wonder, get Kayshon Boutte, get Ramondre Stevenson back, and have these guys continue to contribute to round out this offense. I would love to be able to have Travion Henderson as a weapon rather than somebody you're really going to have to lean into almost every down right now. But that's, I think, the obvious one to take from this game. It's a huge, great sign to see, you know, and overall, really solid contributions from rookies across the board this year. I mean, you've got 2 starting offensive linemen. You've got Craig Woodson, who Paul mentioned, and now you're getting contributions from Kyle as well. So that's what we're building off of this week. Let's hope we can take it into Thursday night against the Jets.
A really, really good one. Or like we said after the break, we're heading to the podium to see what the Patriots have to say after this win down there in Tampa Bay. Stick around. The Patriots Postgame Show will be right back.
This Patriots Postgame Show is brought to you by Pepsi. Game day is here, so stock up now. Grab a refreshing Pepsi Zero Sugar 12-pack now because tailgating deserves better. And by Tostitos. Football fans know traditions matter. They are what inspires us to make our masa and Tostitos the traditional way, starting with whole corn kernels. Discover your next tradition this football season. Head to the store, grab your Tostitos team bag, and scan the code for a chance to score an epic experience with the Patriots. Tostitos, tradition matters.
The future with AI will twist and turn. Cisco is the critical infrastructure for the AI era, clearing your path to wide open possibility. Cisco.
It ain't my dad's razor, Dad.
Hey, watch it.
It's from Gillette Labs. This green bar releases trapped hairs from my face.
Game changer.
While the Flex, this contours to it, so the 5 blades can get virtually every hair in one stroke. For the ultimate Gillette shaving experience,
The best a man can get
is Gillette Labs.
Let there be ideas too big to stay ideas, and the software to make them soar. Let there be anything. Autodesk.
The future with AI will twist and turn. Cisco is the critical infrastructure for the AI era, clearing your path to wide open possibility. Cisco.
It ain't my dad's razor, Dad.
Hey, watch it.
It's from Gillette Labs. This green bar releases trapped hairs from my face.
Game changer.
While the Flex, this contours to it, so the 5 blades can get virtually every hair in one stroke. For the ultimate Gillette shaving experience,
The best a man can get
is Gillette Labs.
Let there be ideas too big to stay ideas, and the software to make them soar. Let there be anything. Autodesk.
We want to hear from you. So call the hotline at 855-PATS-500 or email the show at podcast@patriots.com. Now, back to the Patriots Postgame Show, presented by DraftKings.
Welcome back into the Patriots Postgame Show. We have a full house finally. Matt Smith is here, Paul Perillo, Mike Dussault. I'm Kwani Lunis. And Matt, you come bearing usually the sound, the postgame sound. What's the feel in Tampa right now?
I want to check on the feel in here. How's the feel in here?
The feel is high.
7 in a row. Look at them go.
How do we feel? We feel really good. Although, people are already, criticizing me for being too negative.
Oh my goodness, seriously?
But that's fine.
How would you know? What are you doing?
On the internet?
I did the mistake. I looked at Twitter for the first time.
You don't look at the comments ever.
No, I rarely.
That's a rookie mistake.
I rarely do. It never ceases to.
Were we being honest, Mike, about the fact that they kind of escaped a little bit?
Well, I don't know. Did the head coach get up and just say, what a great win. This was the greatest win of the season, and we were super.
But I don't think he would say that anyway.
No.
Yeah.
But I think he was. There's a lot of. I've seen a lot of noise on the interweb about NFC South champs. I think he was calling them.
Interesting.
Atlanta, New Orleans.
Oh, he was calling
Carolina.
Yeah.
Oh wow, they swept the NFC
Tampa
South.
Bay.
All right,
Bay.
jeez,
Well
I didn't even
done.
put that all together.
I think they're the NFC.
That's
South
what
champs.
Vrabel said that?
Hang it to the
He was
rafters.
in the hallway.
That's
saying.
funny. That's funny.
That's a cringe comment.
It is a cringe comment.
Yeah.
That's a Belichick-like comment.
In the hallway, I think he was. There's some people on the interweb that were saying that. But let's. Speaking of the coach, let's listen to what the coach had to say after their big win in Tampa today. Please.
And thank you.
All right. Until we get to the sound, let's talk about what you thought about the game, since we don't get to hear your opinions
I
often.
think it was a pretty gutsy win.
Yeah.
I don't think they played very well. They played tough.
I'm the only one.
No, they played tough.
Yeah.
Definitely.
And I think when you hear people like, there's a guy like Spillane who says this each and every week. I think he says it because we just could be so much better. I know our best football is out there. He's right. Like they can do a lot better. I think.
I don't.
No?
Okay.
You don't think so?
I think they're so tough and they get by with their grittiness. This was a
They are
huge. I
gritty.
think this was a
They're
huge
gritty.
win. Kwani and I opened the show today because Mike was in the think tank, finishing up his writing. And every time, and this is like 4 or 5 different times, there are situations where the game is hanging. They're unbeaten in those. Like when the game is on the line and one play is going to decide which direction this game is going to go. They make it every single time. I don't think you can play better than that. It's 4th and 3. We need to stop. And here comes Caleb Von Chason to make sure that you're not converting on 4th and 3. The 3rd and 3 before that, here comes Craig Woodson and Christian Gonzalez to sandwich Cade Otton and knock the ball free. That ball's completed. You're probably going to lose. But it doesn't get completed. In Miami, same thing. Here comes Milton Williams with a sack to make sure that drive ends. Against Atlanta last week, yeah, they got a break when they snap the ball, but then it's 3rd and 20 and they force an incomplete pass, and they make sure that they force the punt at the end of the game. They're unbeaten in those games where the play is on the line. You give up a play and you have a good chance to lose. You make the play, you have a good chance to win. They make it every single time.
So you
can't play better than that.
Right. Yeah. So not to predict things, Paul, but does that give you confidence looking ahead that they're battle tested?
Yeah, it does. That's what I said last year, the year before. If Drake Maye throws that pick in the end zone,
they find a way to lose.
I say the game's over. They lost.
Right.
I don't say that now. It started with that Miami game. When they had to kick the field goal to make it 6, I didn't have much faith that they were going to get a stop that day because
they hadn't done it before.
They never do it.
Right.
All right,
now they do it every time.
That's true. Okay, that being said, now let's head to see what Coach Mike Vrabel had to say after the game.
A little closer. We knew it would be difficult coming down here, but 2 explosive plays, and then, I think really Kyle's play early. We really needed that one. That was the one that we were talking about, just needing one play, and he hit it, and it was great to see him have that success. That's why I love coaching them, is that they fight and they compete. It's not always perfect. It's never going to be perfect. But I love the way that they compete. You're going to have some time that, if you strike out, you got to go to the dugout and be pissed for a couple seconds, and then you got to go play the rest of the game. So we tell them, take 30 seconds, be pissed, but we got to go play. And it was a long game. It's a tough place to play. It was warm, and they're good. Well, and we're going to need everybody throughout this season. We're going to need everybody as this thing goes on. With Kayshawn being out, that was an opportunity for Kyle. With Ramondre being out, led more opportunities for Travion. He battled through. I got wore out running out there to see how our guys were doing as many times as I did. But I'm proud of the guys that battled and competed and laid it on the line. It was a huge play for us on fourth down. Got confidence in our guys. And so to be able to have confidence in them at that moment and them come through, that's about players and not necessarily play. So I was really excited and proud of Steph and Drake for scoring when we were and being able to end the half with the football in our hands.
So Mike mentions Kyle Williams, and I want to give the proper shout-out to the pregame show crew here for pointing out this is an opportunity for Kyle Williams. Good job by ladies and gentlemen to talk about that. That was a good one,
I got to give all the credit to Francisco.
I didn't predict a
50-plus yard touchdown.
Man.
I got to give all the credit to the guy, and that's he called in during the week, and we talked about that in the pregame show because of that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's the guy's out. He's the guy who replaces the guy who's out. He's going to get a chance. He got 2 chances and made a big play.
Yeah.
2 targets, 1 catch, 72 yards, and a touchdown. That's being ready.
Yeah.
It's being ready.
Yeah.
So that was a coach. And speaking of being ready, somewhere buried in this mix of players that went to the podium today and talked is Kyle Williams. You'll hear from him, but it kicks off with the quarterback, Drake Maye.
Man, it's gritty. Just so proud of this team. Just every week we're fighting. Some things aren't going our way. We're handling adversity, battling adversity. Defense is stepping up. What a complete game. That's what we said all week. Show up for 60 minutes. We knew it was a good football team. We knew if we got up, they were going to come back, and they came marching back. And just proud of the guys for standing up, especially our defense with a big stop. And just proud of this team.
We're a hungry team. We're a young team. We're a hungry team. We're a team with a guy with a lot of chip on their shoulders. We still feel like we have so much left to prove. We have yet to play our best football game as a team, as a defense. And every week, that's why we prepare. We go out there every week trying to play our best game, trying to put the best 4 quarters of team defense together, and we're yet to get there. So that taste in our mouth keeps us coming back for more.
I have my routine set, and I just stay true to it. I don't, just because I'm not getting this many plays, or this week I got 10 plays, I'm not going to shy away from that routine. I'm going to stay on it because at some point I'm going to be needed, and they're going to depend on me, and I got to be ready. And I was ready this week.
Get on the plane. We'll probably watch some tape of New York. We got to flip the next page. It's a quick turnaround. We got one at home, though, so looking forward to playing with our fans. Our fans were great out there today. It was cool. I feel like our whole side was Patriots fans, so that was pretty cool.
I was kind of confused. But, I tried to make sure to check with the coaches real quick to see, what they wanted me to do. But I knew I had the guys running behind me as well, so I had to make a decision in like 2 seconds. And so, but, it ended up happening, ended up getting in the end zone. At the end of the day, we came out with the win. And so.
I assume you guys in Gallus thought he made the right play? I thought
Absolutely.
it was interesting. They looked over like, I like the quizzical Paul Perillo look.
Well, Paul, you can
You
explain
recover
why.
the onside kick,
Yeah.
so it's the
But
right play. But if you don't recover the onside kick and you lose the game,
Right.
That's why he was looking. He's clearly looking for direction.
And he said the same thing happened to him last year in a game when he was playing for Ohio State, that he was going in and he sat down.
Yeah.
So that's why he wanted to make sure that he was doing the right thing.
I don't think anybody would ever criticize a kid right here for just saying, okay, this is going to give us a 2-score lead. I'm going to put the game away. But there's a decision to be made. I'm not necessarily saying this is the wrong one. But he's clearly looking, and they're probably waving. I don't know if he was able to pick them up, pick them up, and they were telling him to go in. But if you go down, the game is over.
Right. Yeah.
If you score, the game is extended.
Enzo? Yeah.
And as I thought, which I'm sure the 3 of you said.
Look at Drake.
Drake waving at him, too.
Right.
Go in.
As the announcer said during the game, Diggs caught 5 balls today. He took the biggest hit on the last catch that he had. He got drilled.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So just, again, I like to be, it's not a result-based thing. Like, you can say, well, what's the right move? They end up winning the game by 5. Well, no, like, if you don't get the onside kick, I think people are looking at it a little bit differently.
Right.
I think the one that deserves a little more, I guess discussion I'm not willing to do because I'm not going to spend the next week getting criticized by Patriots fans who are going to be butthurt. But to openly not try to score in the first half of a game on first down, to me, is a reckless decision. But I'm like, it worked. They scored on fourth down. No harm, no foul. I'm not going to get into an argument about it because I know how this is going to end. I'm going to be the bat. You know, Mike, you're saying that people are saying you're being negative. I'm not being accused of being negative on a 7-game winning streak with an 8-2 record, especially after that win. That was a big boy win.
And then I want to bring up one other thing that young Perillo has been mentioning and been talking about. And Chris, if you would put up the shot of Drake Maye, please, after the game. And I want you to check Drake Maye's right shoulder. Now, I'm not saying that there's anything that, like, this isn't indicative of it. Yeah. He's got some owies and some scrapes on his left shoulder, excuse me. But as I think we all viewed today, 6 sacks the last 2 weeks. Now, he didn't take 6 sacks today, so I think the offensive line was a little better. Did a better job.
I think he took more hits in this game than he did in the last 2.
Really tough
they
hits
had found
this week.
him once,
And, it's a league where it's a war of attrition every single week. And, he got drilled on the sideline when there was a lot of people looking for a flag on that play. Did they hit him in the helmet? He was not out of bounds. No. So it was safe as far as that's concerned.
Yeah.
But I think I saw some chatter saying, did they get him close to the head? Should they have flagged him for hitting him in the head?
Oh.
But he got popped.
I wonder if that's what people are being on you for, Mike, because you made the comment that he needs to sort of just get out of bounds.
Yeah.
Like he sort of he does a little
wishy-washy.
Yeah, I think that's what you said.
Yeah. It's kind of like you could call us the other way, like blow to the head.
No way.
Okay. You've seen a lot less than that been called before, Paul.
Not that far in bounds.
That might be where he got his.
He hits him in the shoulder.
No, I'm talking about hitting the head.
He doesn't hit him in the head. He hits him in the shoulder.
Guys get that call.
That's total shoulder. That's exactly what Christian Gonzalez and Craig Woodson did to Cade Otton. 2 great textbook shoulder hits.
This is not a shoulder, but his head just happens to wobble off the helmet.
The contact is with the shoulder.
Great job, Chris.
But his head wobbles.
Face is kind of
That's not a headshot. I'm sorry. If that call goes against the Patriots, you guys are losing your minds. You're absolutely losing your minds.
No,
it's a shoulder. He hits him in the shoulder with the shoulder, and then the head comes afterward.
Yeah, Nian says they picked up the flag. They didn't throw a flag.
They did throw a flag.
They threw one flag on the play.
And then they threw another flag with the hat because the same guy throws the flag, and he has to use his hat on the second one.
Flag.
I listen. This football, I agree with Mike. I think you just got to get out of bounds.
Yes.
And he doesn't do it often enough and fast enough. Just get out.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Right.
It's got to be tough.
Yeah, see that right there. See, Chris just shows it. So that guy throws the flag, and then he throws his hat, which is because he doesn't have a flag anymore because he already threw one.
Right.
Another, I thought, good job by the officials in this game, by the way. That's 2 weeks in a row that the officials did not get involved in the
Alex
game.
Van Kemp did a nice job today.
I have no idea who that is.
We love to see it.
If that's the referee, I'll take your word for it. But that's, Kwani, I agree. I don't need to know who you are.
If I know your name,
I don't need to. The fact that I know who calls what and what the reputation is wrong. You shouldn't.
Yeah.
You shouldn't have a reputation for anything if you're officiating games. Oh, Jesus. Rough game, guys. Marcus Mariota just got killed. The toughness the Patriots show on a week-to-week basis to me is what really stands out. When games are on the line, they're almost perfect. When they have to be, they make plays. Yeah. I love it.
And I know as you guys talked about on All Access this week, Paul, you are seeing the accumulation of 10 weeks. We all know about Booty. We all know about Stevenson. We all know about Ellis. But, Barmore goes down for a little bit, comes back. Henderson goes down for a little bit, comes back. Jennings, who's your running back 4, misses the rest of the game. Who else got dinged today?
Marcus Jones, Barmore,
Henderson,
Mapu. Right. So it's like they will be racing to the exit signs, I would think, especially if they can get out of Thursday with a win, because every team could use a break at this point in time. I'm not putting the Patriots above anybody else. But if they can get out of Thursday with a win after 11 games and get some time off, that would do them a lot of good.
100% agree. All right, let's take it back out to the phone lines. We have Dan and Daytona.
God bless you, Matt.
Dan?
Can you hear me?
Yes, we hear you.
Hey, Dan.
Okay. Hey, Glad it was an amazing game. I got to watch it with one of my buddies. I'm actually originally from Tampa, Florida. I'm a regular caller. I call all the time, giving Paul
Sorry to hear that.
Paul and Mike a hard time. Yes, no, but I'm a long time Patriots fan. But it was a great game. I'll say three things that I liked. I loved they finally got Mac Hollins more involved. That was awesome. Mac Hollins, using his tall frame, that was great. And man, I don't know this Henderson guy. He was irrelevant. He didn't seem like he was seeing the offense all season long. It looks like he looks like he was from Ohio State. I don't know if this is the same guy or they just cloned this guy from Ohio State. He looks totally different. He doesn't look like the same guy, that we saw all season. But if he keeps that up, then damn, they need to play this kid more and keep developing. And then the other part, the bonehead move by Drake. Drake almost had 2 picks today. The pick that he had in the end zone was ridiculous. And then Mike's face, if you saw, I don't know if you all saw Mike's face right after that play when Drake threw the interception. It was such a bonehead and egregious play by Drake. He did good in this game, but he's got to cut down on those bonehead. Those are throws that you see Trevor Lawrence making all the time. It's ridiculous.
That's
straight, right?
It's like, hey,
That's a good call, Dan.
Thank you, Dan.
That's a good call.
Danny Daytona, bringing it.
Right, good call.
Hair flip. That's where we're at. We want this team to make some noise in the playoffs. We want to correct the mistakes, and it's been impressive how they're winning these games, and there's a ton to be excited about. But this is what we do. We have to talk about this for 20 hours a week or whatever it is, and we break down what the nuance is and where they need to improve. But right now it seems like a football team. Maybe that's the simplest way to put it, and it felt like that was kind of what was coming together. Not perfect team, but they're playing together and
pretty balanced team too. Like the offense does it, and then they go through some struggles, and the defense does it for a little while, and they get off to a bad start, but then they lock it down while the offense gets its footing. So it's been pretty balanced.
Yeah.
That's why I sort of. And I understand why what the players are talking about, because players are never going to be satisfied, and I like that. They shouldn't be.
Correct.
But I think you're maximizing what they have to offer right now, being 8-2.
And Mike, I think to your point, their closeness shows up. I think they've got each other's back.
Yeah, Mike.
Now, is that easier to do when you're 8-2 as opposed to 2-8?
Well, it feeds upon itself, right? And that's the thing that you just every football season, and I talked about it 100 times how it goes when it's bad, but. Take a guy like Kyle Williams today, who had 1 catch, but it was a huge catch, and now he feels a little rewarded, and he's going to go into practice in the next couple of days with some renewed energy, and maybe that helps him, carry that over into Thursday. So it's just, it's just one of those things where you feel picking up momentum and each win and adding, and to that in that respect, like. Is there something to say with it's kind of a sporadic schedule the next 4 weeks? It's, a Thursday night game, then a Sunday game, then a Monday game, then an off week.
Not in that routine.
You're going to get out of that routine a little bit. So I think it's something the coaching staff needs to be, cognizant of is, how do we keep the momentum kind of going without, all right, you're probably going to get next weekend, 3-day weekend, probably like a Friday. I mean, I don't know what the players are going to do, but, no practice. Back in and then all that stuff. So it's just hopefully they can stay mentally tough through some of the challenges of the schedule changing a little bit, which doesn't sound like a big deal, but I think when you're in it,
I think it's a good point.
The routine you're in, it's there's some comfort to it, and we feel it. We're auxiliary to the team, but we still base our schedule off of their schedule, and I feel it when it's like, oh my God, we're not. What's going on today? The bye weeks and stuff. It's always strange. So. Hopefully they're able to manage that a little bit.
One other thing that Dan said that I just wanted to jump on, I don't know how much you guys talked about it. I'm a big Mac Hollins fan. I think it's really curious why did he bounce around to so many different teams? Why is that? He's willing to go in and do the dirty work in the run game. He's willing to, and he's not perfect as far as that's concerned. He's whiffed a couple times, but he's willing, which I think is helpful. Like you saw his speed and his separation on the long play or something like that. He's available over the middle to get some of those, just move the chains along on 3rd and 7. He'll give you 8 or 9. He's certainly in the contention for the most interesting cat on this team.
Oh, absolutely.
And I think he's a productive player as well, a really productive player. And
so
I like the fact
talked
that
to some people before the season because his reputation is great locker room guy, great leader, blah, blah, blah. And we've seen that. We saw it with Miami a few years ago. We saw it with Buffalo last year.
With Buffalo.
And we saw it, we've seen it now through 10 weeks. So I asked two people, why does he keep, I think it's like 6 teams in 6 years or something like that. Why does he keep moving around so much? And the answer I got was what he basically brings is all the stuff that we're talking about. And he's content to be like, so he is sort of that complimentary fourth guy, and teams don't necessarily want to pay for that.
Yeah.
It's like all the teams that he's been on, and like I guess Buffalo made a good push to try to keep him, but they ultimately weren't able to do it. And teams look at that as like that intangible is not necessarily something they want to invest a lot in. So he kind of keeps just running around on 1-year deals. I would look at it like Buffalo right now. I bet you
they'd love to have him back.
I bet you I'll bet you they miss. I bet you Josh Allen misses him.
Yeah,
because I think he was a very reliable guy for them last year.
And do you think that these teams are always there's a shinier looking toy out there? Yeah, he can be our third, maybe our third, but our fourth receiver. But look at this guy and look at his speed. Look at his time in the 40.
Buffalo doesn't have that.
No, I know.
That's why I know Buffalo wanted him back. They lost him and they didn't really replace. They didn't replace him. I think it was more of a sort of just a money thing. And I'm always critical of these guys. They got the money, spend it. Yeah. Like you're in a window where you can win a title, spend the money. It's dumb. Yeah. It's dumb what some of these teams do. And I think Buffalo misses him. I think he was a valuable guy for them last year. Also, not a game breaker, but a guy who's going to do exactly what he's done for the Patriots.
Off the field, my Instagram has been targeting me with his videos where he gives you tips. Like life hacks, how to clean things. Yeah, the Mac hacks. So Instagram has been pushing him heavy on the feeds as well.
I mean,
he brings a lot to the table.
He's an interesting dude.
Very interesting. It likes to walk around barefoot. A lot of weird, quirky tips.
26 catches this year. I mean, it's he's going to have one of the. I mean, he's probably not going to top the 57 catches he had with Josh McDaniels, but he's up to 26 this season, which is already his. Third best season. Last year he had 31 with Buffalo. So, he's contributing. He's, and we spoke with him last week. We interviewed him here and, talk about just the funny relationship he's developed with Efton Chisholm. Like they just got like this, little strange buddy, growing friendship that they push each other and stuff. And I mean, he, like I said, when we asked Kyle, he's been a big part of changing that room and just changing the dynamic and giving it 2 veteran voices who, go about it the right way. I think that's another thing with Matt Collins of putting the work in, knowing what it takes to be a professional. And I think that's a lot of what that room needed.
I know you're the draft guy, Mike, and I'm not. Am I dumb for not knowing that Kyle Williams could run away from people? Because he ran away after that. I didn't know he had that kind of juice. That was the most impressive. I mean, what an unbelievable throw by May. That was a sick throw by May. But he just turned on the afterburners on that. If he's a home run hitter, and 32's a home run hitter, that brings a dimension to them. That this team hasn't had in a while.
If I were just to give a little advice to Todd Bowles, I'd probably have Jamel Dean in the game. Not really use not really use the
bad
middle,
time to rotate.
Not really use regular season games as a time to get everybody their varsity letter. The guy undercuts the route. There's nobody there.
Yeah,
it's just pathetic. Defense on that play.
Whacked right at the last second.
Yeah, and this was he took more hits in this game than he took in the 6 sack games.
More clean hit. I mean,
more hits. Period.
Shots,
I don't really, I'm not a big AT&T guy, and I know that the next gen stats will probably tell you that they didn't have any hits. He got walloped time after time today. If there's a concern, that's it. Because I don't know what this team would look like without him.
Yeah, if you want any quarterback pressure numbers, according to Next Gen Stats, Will Campbell gave up 7 pressures, Garrett Bradbury 5, and Jared Wilson 3. Everybody else had 1. So, where according to Next Gen, the pressure was coming from.
Yeah, and when you look at it, it was only 1 sack as opposed to 6. I don't think there was that much of a difference. I did think that the pass protection was better today early in the game. It deteriorated as the game went along, and he took some big hits in the fourth quarter. Now some of them, like the Matt Collins deep throw, he took the hit and made the throw.
Yeah.
Now there was a couple that the hit affected the throw before that too. So got to keep him healthy.
Yeah.
Gotta
it felt like
gotta keep him healthy.
You know, and that's, I think you said it, Paul, like late in the second quarter, it felt like he started to get a little bit of that rhythm where
that was the one drive, the 14-play drive. That was really the only drive they had in the game.
And that's the thing to me that's so exciting about Drake Maye is just that you're starting to get a sense of, Drake's he's heated up right now. He's locked in. You can tell that this kid, he all of a sudden finds a rhythm and he becomes very, very hard to stop. I just would love to see continued progress towards the game where he just doesn't have to do too much. You know, he's getting the ball, it's out, he's not getting hits. You know, it's just beating teams more with his mind. And then when he has to scramble or he has to use his body, then that's just the punishment that's waiting for them for leaving, you know, a lane open for him to escape. But I don't know how we can't all agree that it's not sustainable to continue to allow him to take hits. No matter what the answer is, the biggest priority for this team should be to keep Drake Maye upright and safe and healthy, you know, on him, on the offensive line, decision-making, all that stuff. That to me is just, that's it. That's it. If you get to the playoffs, I don't care what else happens. If he's healthy, you know, you're going to have probably a puncher's chance against anybody.
Can't do any of it without him.
Yep.
All right, let's head back to the phone lines. We have Ryan in Utah. Ryan. Hello there. Okay.
Ryan?
We're going to head to Connecticut now. Ryan. Greg, are you with us? Okay.
Can you hear me?
Greg is here. Greg is here. Hi, Greg. We hear you.
Oh, hey, okay, good. All right. Yeah, so, you know, I had a few things in my mind, but, like, I was thinking about what one of the callers had said about Drake Maye forcing that touchdown, trying to force that pass into the end zone. You know, I was frustrated about it, too, but I love the fact that, like, it seems like Josh McDaniels and Mike Vrabel put that trust in him to make those calls, and I think that those type of mistakes are important, especially when the defense keeps coming up the way that it has. So I hated it. I mean, like, I was sitting there with my dad watching the game, and I'm like, man, just, like, go take the 3. But at the same time, it's like it gave, like, such a good opportunity for Henderson to just blow up and do what he did in the game. And, you know, also, I'm pretty sure, like, you guys correct me if I'm wrong, but that was the Bucs coming off their bye week. So it's like they had time to rest. The Patriots coming into that game ready to go, one of their biggest challenges of the season. And if you guys have already mentioned this before, I heard you talking a little bit about Kyle Williams, who I've been waiting to see do something. I think, like, give Booty and Ramondre Stevenson, like, another game off and let Kyle Williams and Travion Henderson just do what they can do against the Jets on a short week, Thursday Night Football. 10 days after that, it's just like, it feels like just the season is lining up so well for us in regards to how we can rest and whatnot. You guys mentioned as well, like, keeping Drake obviously, like, protected, but it's just great to see what they're doing. It's wild. It's like low key. I don't want to jinx it. I actually predicted before the season that I could see the Patriots in the AFC Championship game. Maybe I shouldn't say that, but I felt good about this team coming in. I just can't believe what they're doing. So I'm just curious what you guys think.
That's great.
I just go back to the same thing that if somebody told you in August that after 10 games they'd be 8-2, you would laugh at that person. You would say that they needed to be drug tested. I don't think there's anybody in their right mind that said in August that this team would be 8-2.
I didn't expect them to be 8-2. Nope.
You know?
No.
Competitive? Yep.
Now I'm like, I don't know how they lost to the Raiders.
No, seriously.
What was that?
I don't know if I would have laughed, but I would not have expected them to be 8-2. Buffalo and Tampa were 2 games that before the season started, I would have had penciled in as losses.
Even if you had
but I
one
would
as a
not
win.
have penciled in a loss to the Raiders, and probably not Pittsburgh either. But no, 8-2 is exceeding my expectations.
Now we have a look at the regular season MVP odds.
I need Fred's gambling book too.
Right.
Does that mean that Drake Maye has the best odds to win MVP right now?
As of today, I believe that that's what that means.
That's weird that today would be the day.
Of all the games, yeah.
Right.
Like,
It was good.
QB wins.
May have been his worst statistical game of the year.
Well, to your point, like there wasn't the completion percentage was certainly down, wasn't it?
Yeah. 16 of 31.
Right.
He made some plays, but I mean the biggest play of the game, Kyle Williams made. That was like a 10-yard throw that he turned up field. Guy undercuts him and doesn't have help for the tackle, and it's just a fundamental mistake by the the Bucs. I'm teasing Todd Bowles for not having Jamel Dean on there, but any NFL player should know if I go for the knockdown, I got to get it. Right. I either have to secure the tackle or I have to make the play. You can't do neither.
Didn't the quarterback kind of feather it in there a little bit? Does he just? Yeah.
I mean, I would expect Drake Maye at this point to make that play.
I thought it was a pretty good throw.
The throw to Mac Hollins was perfect.
Yeah.
And I think Tony Romo said it during the broadcast. I think you'd be hard-pressed to find a guy throwing a better deep ball in the NFL right now than Drake Maye. All season. This is not a one-game fluke here. I mean, this is just, it's perfect.
Just right in the bucket.
It's just perfect. And it's different guys, too. It's not like he's like locking on, you know, like he has a rapport with Diggs or a rapport with Booty. It's like, how many different guys have you know, Douglas, Booty, Hollins. You know, like you've seen a number of guys get deep down the field. You know, I just... That's the part that I would have laughed at before the season. Like, Drake Maye is going to be so good that he's going to be the MVP of the league. I would have said, come on. He's not going to make that big of a leap in 1 year. And he has.
Right. No, and by the same token, though, I mean, even from last year in training camp, it's just been one of the things, watching him in person, that's impressed me the most. It's just he doesn't hesitate to throw the deep ball. And, you know, admittedly, I got one training camp at Tom Brady, and then it was like Mac Jones. And, you know, so there wasn't a lot of pushing the ball down the field 2020 to 2024. But Drake, he's just it's in his that's his game. His game is pushing the ball down the field, taking those shots, and it's just amazing to see a player who has the confidence but also has the accuracy to execute it. You know,
so here's a question I have for you. Now it's 10 games. So as the broadcast kept on saying that Mike said to them, "Well, the season's on now." So during this win streak, I felt like a lot. Well, it's nice, but let's see what happens. Well, now they've really positioned themselves as one of the top teams, at least record-wise, in the AFC. So why not? Like, as you're looking ahead a little bit and looking at different permutations, their schedule is still kind of favorable. You know, I think Baltimore's definitely on the come. You know, they won again today. They've got a couple of easy games before they take on. That's going to be a really, really hard game. And I think that they're tough. Kansas City's off this week. Is that right?
Yeah.
And he was in a dogfight against Atlanta. And I don't think anybody saw Buffalo losing to Miami, and they got throttled today, didn't they?
No, but you were in a dogfight with Atlanta last week.
No, I know.
So I mean, to me, it's going to come down to the Buffalo game. Like if you can beat Buffalo a second time and win the AFC East, then it's game on. You lose to Buffalo and you lose the AFC East,
and you're in a wild card spot.
And you're in a wild card round, and I don't like your chances. But I don't really care.
Yeah.
The progress that this team has made already.
For me too. Yeah.
You know, I'm not going to tell you I'm going to just sit here and I'm going to come on here with a huge smile on my face, you know, in the playoffs after I lose. But, well, gosh darn it, aren't we just happy to be here? No, I'm not going to do that. But
have expectations changed after 10 games,
that's going to be the in my mind, that's going to be the takeaway is, yeah, maybe they're not quite, if they lose in the playoffs, maybe they're not quite ready yet. But this team is capable of doing a lot because the quarterback is that good.
Yeah.
Quarterback's going to, I think you just used the phrase about 10 minutes ago, a quarterback's going to give you a puncher's chance against anyone. And if you could have said that to me before the season started, I would have laughed.
Okay. That's a good way to put it.
You know, they're going to play Buffalo at Buffalo, and they're going to have a puncher's chance?
Yeah.
Well, they not only had a puncher's chance, they won.
Yeah.
That, to me, is something I didn't see coming.
No, me neither. It's almost funny looking back at, like, you know, what my questions for the season were. It's like, you know, is Drake clutch? That was kind of like, you know, it's like, I know he's pretty good, but like, was never like, is he an MVP candidate?
It's funny,
is he
we
like
still don't
top...
get to see those.
No, I do.
They've been so good. They've been so good, they haven't had to do that.
Yeah, I think there's been one or two.
Like, they've had clutch drives to close out games-ish.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, 70-yard run today to close out a game, but
helps.
They really haven't had to have the gotta have it drive in the fourth quarter because they've been so good. They've been in the lead so much.
Forgive me for bringing this up, though. But
I'll forgive you, Mike. You're forgiven.
It's an interesting comp that piled into my head, and that is the 07 Patriots, who ran a historic 16-0 season. But we got to November, December. I remember coming to see the team like play the Jets and the Dolphins in December, and it wasn't the same anymore. It wasn't 38-13 anymore. It was, you know, you could see a team
20-10 against the
that was
Jets.
winning games, but it's not looking better right now when things are starting to get better. And that, you know, and that's kind of where I come from a little bit with this team now of, you know, are we stagnating to stagnate, or is this just a little bit of a pause? I mean, this is, Drake went 4 games without throwing an interception. Now this is 3 straight games with an interception. Now again, it's just 1 interception. It's not the end of the world. But, that to me is an example of sometimes teams peak in October and have a great run. And, and I don't want this team to be that. With a young quarterback, I still feel like there is going to be ups and downs. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, you're a young team and you still have finding out who you are. And, so I think there's such a huge opportunity for them this Thursday night to really assert that control of the division, win, get to your 9th win, have that feeling of we're going to have a winning season no matter what happens this year with 9 wins, but still feel like we need to be better. We need to clean up these mistakes because we do have a chance to, win a playoff game. I think that to me seems crazy. At the beginning of the season, I was just make the playoffs.
Yeah.
And I love what Paul said. I'm not going to come in here and be like, oh, isn't this great? We lost it. Because now I'm getting expectations of clean up the mistakes and don't lose in the first round, especially if you're at home to some, Jacksonville comes up.
And
here
that's
or
why I
something
think that's what makes all the difference.
The expectations have changed.
If they win the division and they have a home game and they lose, you're going to be pissed.
Yeah.
Now, if they lose that second game to Buffalo and they ultimately lose the division and they're, say, the 5 seed and they go to Baltimore, I'm not going to sit here and say, that's a game you must win. No, they could win it. I'm not, again, puncher's chance, but I'm not going to say, disaster of a season. You went and lost the first playoff game. There's a lot of stuff there's a lot of football to still be played.
And that's the crucial part. You're saying the expectation has changed, which is true, but also continuing to manage it because at the end of the day, if this season, I hate when you say the season were to end today, it would still be a successful season, but also understanding second-year quarterback, there's still so much growth to be had. And I get it. It's hard. When you see the potential, you're like, all right, why not win it all this year? But
you just look at the things like non-result. You look at the head coach. Looks like he knows what he's doing. Looks like he's built a program.
And they're
it
buying
looks like
into
you have
it.
a quarterback. And really, that's kind of where the 2 biggest pieces of the pie are, right?
Sure.
You feel like you got a coach that the players can believe in, and you got a quarterback that feels like, if he can continue to progress and get better, that he's going to be one of the best players in the league for a long time.
And I think that coach is pushing this. There's more to be had out here, guys. These games are more important. It's going to get more fun. The games are going to mean more. There's a carrot in front of these guys that he's putting out in front of them every single week. Don't settle. Don't be satisfied with 8-2 because we can be 9-2 and get a little break or something like that. Then we got to figure out how we win on the road after that. So he's constantly not looking too far ahead, but what's the next challenge? And this is absolutely a challenge. They're a little bit banged up. They're at least at home. Jets team that has absolutely nothing to lose. They seem to be playing a little bit better maybe for Aaron Glenn. They didn't have much offense today, but they got 2 special teams.
They had no offense.
It's called stop the run and don't turn the ball over. That's going to be Deuce's.
They threw for 40 yards.
Okay.
Yeah, it's
and Mike.
Someone might have had Cleveland in that game.
What a uni game this is coming up. The rivalry.
Well, the rivalry's uni's coming up, and
I do like the Patriots rivalry uniforms.
Yeah, no, they're sharp. They had the helmets on Friday, breaking those in a little bit.
Right.
So it'll be a new look for the Pats, and hopefully they bring some good vibes. And I'll just be curious, really, how the injuries play out this week with some of these guys because
Would you hold them all back if you could?
I mean, of course, but but Vrabel seems really conscious of managing guys, and all through the season, through training camp, even. Why is Morgan Moses coming out late? He seems very aware of that, and I think if anybody's got something that might linger, that he might err on the side of caution.
If they're healthy, they play. But if Booty has got an iffy hamstring, sure, sit him out.
Yeah.
But that's a tough one because you don't know exactly how they are.
Ooh, we got a little look at him. Nor'easter.
Yeah, there they are. The nor'easter's coming.
It's fire. All right. Before we wrap, we have John in Wyoming who's been waiting. John, what do you have to say? John fell asleep as well.
John.
Cam? Take it to Cam? In New
here.
York?
Hey, guys. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we hear you, Cam.
Awesome. So I just wanted, I have a couple things. So first thing is the play calls on defense in the fourth quarter. I did not like the idea of playing so soft. Other thing, I know Paul already said he didn't like the idea of Travion going into the end zone.
I didn't have a huge problem with that. I didn't. I understand what he was doing. 2-score lead in the last 2 minutes. Put the game away.
Put the game away. Put the points on the board. I get that. And then the other thing was, at least from the live broadcast, it looked like May could have had a chance if he scrambled on that interception to get into the end zone. Maybe not, but I think.
Yeah, he had just gotten lit up shortly before that. My guess is that had something to do with it. But yeah, I saw what you saw, Cam. I thought he was going to try to run initially, but maybe it closed down on him. Those guys were fast. I was impressed with Tampa today.
They play hard.
I mean, with all those guys they were missing, they had every opportunity to win the game. I know everybody was like, well, they're coming off a bye. Yeah, none of them came back off the bye.
Yeah.
They all missed the game.
That's true. Seemed like they were throwing a lot at Drake, too. Just a lot to decipher, too.
That was a good game. I think the Patriots, that was a big boy win. That was a big boy win for the Patriots.
I don't see anything where he had a chance to run there.
Yeah,
so
for me.
And score. Like he could have run, but
so
he's not going anywhere.
I think that is it 96 down the bottom here or 9? No, who is it? Yeah, 96. I think is going to make that awfully tough on him to get. He's going to have now. Maybe he cuts back inside him, but when you cut back inside, there's other guys that are going to. There's other guys going to get
Who's the
involved.
intended receiver, Hollins?
Yeah, it seemed like they wanted it quick and it wasn't there.
Yeah, it's just a bad play. I mean,
throw that one away
like
and
the
kick
fake.
the field
It's like a
goal.
fake dig
Right.
screen.
The 8-point lead would have been significant.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
A little bit like the first touchdown play to Diggs, where I'm guessing they were faking the screen to him, and then they were going to go back out to Hollins, who probably fake block and then went, but they didn't fall for it. I'm guessing.
Kind of similar to.
Look at the all-22.
I didn't see it, but like it would remind me a little bit of the touchdown that they had early in the season against Miami in a similar spot on the field to Hollins. You know, maybe he's faking like he's going to block down. It's going to dig out the nickel.
A lot of dig out the nickel talk this week. That's
and then cut, and they were on it. I thought Tampa's coverage was pretty good today. I didn't see a lot of guys running wide open today. They had more balls knocked down than we've seen probably all year.
Yeah.
That's why I give the Patriots more credit, because it was harder. They made them work harder for it, and they had to work harder for it, and they did.
Tampa's not great, but they're battle tested.
They're two good teams. Yep. Those two good teams that played today.
Absolutely. So like we mentioned, the Patriots preparing for a short week. We are as well. So we're going to wrap this show up. For Paul Perillo and Mike Dussault and Matt Smith, I'm Kwani Lunis. Thank you for watching the Patriots Postgame Show presented by DraftKings.
Hey, this is Alex. Thanks for tuning into the show. If you really want to help us, make sure you like us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts. Also, make sure you follow us on the New England Patriots YouTube channel to see this show and everything else we do here at the Patriots. Thanks a lot.